Beng beng youths, cherished viewers. That's welcome in Occitan, an old poetic language still spoken in southern France. I'm Alamanda, the troubadourite, meaning a female troubadour who composed and performed songs in medieval times. The people of the culturally unique region of Occitania in the south of France. Thank you for your good prayers for the world. Throughout the history of mankind, the divine messages are often shrouded in mystery. Prophets, messiahs, or whichever names you call them, are often persecuted and oppressed, their words obscured. But how do we distinguish the true from the false? To do so, one can only rely on the divine's guidance, and the truth will reveal itself to those who earnestly seek it. After his resurrection, Lord Jesus Christ's close disciples traveled to different places to carry on his teachings. According to local beliefs, one of Lord Jesus' foremost apostles, Saint Mary Magdalene, arrived on a boat at the shores of the south of France, along with Saint Mary of Clopas and Saint Mary Salome. Thus, there is even a small town named after them, called Sainte Marie de la Mer, Saint Mary's of the Sea. The legend says that Saint Mary Magdalene then started her ministry of spreading the original teachings of Jesus Christ. It is also believed that the original form of Christianity was practiced in that region through the spiritual group known as the Cathars. In the 11th century, the Languedoc region of southern France was a cultured, open, and tolerant society. It flourished because it was progressive. Among them were the Cathars, good citizens who practiced love, peace, charity, simple living, and honest labor, according to the spiritual principles taught by Lord Jesus Christ. Thus the Cathars were known as bons chrétiens, good Christians, or bonhommes, good men, and bonnes femmes, good women. The term Cathar has its origin in the ancient Greek word kathairos, which means pure. The Cathar initiates were basically vegans, practiced meditation to contact God directly, and believed in reincarnation and the law of retribution. For us, the disciples of Supreme Master Qinghai, the way of the Cathars sounds very familiar. Not only do the Cathars have much in common with us 1,000 years later, they also lived like the Essenes. Lord Jesus' lineage did 1,000 years before them. That is because, since eternity, there has only ever been one true way of spiritual communion with God. As Supreme Master Qinghai has lovingly taught us,
the master of old have passed away, but their teaching, their lineage of enlightenment has always somewhere, somehow, somewhat survived. It not necessarily survived in Jerusalem. It not necessarily survived in Bodh Gaya in India. It goes deep into the ground like the river. It goes all over. It branches out. It's hidden away somewhere and then it springs up somewhere else. Surprise. So we have to find where that river has sprung up right now and get the source of the water of life. I'm also lucky to have encountered the newly sprung up river, and I have also drunk the water of life, which tastes good. I know it tastes good because I have tasted it. So I come back and tell you. And I can also show you where to get the water and taste it for yourself. 从古至今啊，大师们啊，他们都强调观音法门。耶稣基督讲观音法门，释迦牟尼佛讲观音法门，老子讲观音法门，孔子修观音法门，玄奘大师修观音法门，六祖慧能修观音法门，等等等。那我修什么啊
According to Richard Stanley, an award-winning South African filmmaker, author, and anthropologist based in Montségur, France, a center of Cathar country.
Catharism was not only an initiated tradition, it had a secret body of law which was not available to outsiders, that was only told to or revealed by fellow initiates, so the actual belief or teaching was never known or never written down, but only conveyed to fellow initiates. The line of initiation allegedly went back to before the time of Christ, or BCE, before the Christian era.
This method is very ancient.
Cette méthode est très ancienne.
And the lineage is unbroken.
Et la lignée n'a jamais été cassée.
From one country to the next, one master to another.
D'un pays à un autre ou d'un maître à un autre.
If we are not interested in this kind of direction, sometimes we never know about it. When the master transmits the so-called Guan Yin, the master doesn't speak anything and doesn't do anything and does not tell you to do anything. It is because of the silent power, the unwritten method. Therefore, it's called method, but a very invisible method, unwritten, no use in language. If you are in contact with this light or the sound of God inside, by any means, then you are in the Guan Yin method.
In Catharism, the initiation into spiritual practice was called the consolamentum. It can be explained as the true baptism and immersion in the Holy Spirit. During the consolamentum, the new Cathar initiates received spiritual gifts such as the cleansing of sin, spiritual regeneration, and elevation of the soul to a higher plane of perfection, nearer to God. Eventually, they will be freed from the bonds of the physical world for eternity. The consolamentum sounds very much like the initiation that Supreme Master Qinghai bestows by her divine grace.
After initiation, your soul is free. You will never have to be reborn again in suffering and dying situation like in this world. You don't have to be reborn, don't have to get old again, don't ever have to suffer again. Don't have to be sick or suffer of any kind again, and don't have to ever die again. Don't ever have to experience this dying process again, which is terrifying and pain and troublesome and sorrow for yourself and for family members. You are lucky people. The initiation will help us to purify, to burn out all the past karmas.
L'initiation nous aidera à purifier, à brûler le karma des incarnations antérieures.
And just leave the karma of this life for us to go on.
Et ne nous laissera en fait que le karma de cette existence, de cette vie.
And even then, the master power will minimize our suffering when necessary, when we couldn't bear it. The master will leave a little bit of karma for us for daily use of give and take, but don't make new ones. That's why we keep the precepts. We eat vegan to minimize the karma for the future, the cost of coming back for the future. But the rest of the karma, the master power burns it away, so you don't have any more debt to come back anymore, okay? So that's the good thing about initiation. Inside, open the wisdom and clear all the storage of bad karma and even good karma, so we don't have to come back again. That's why for the initiates, this is the last life. Last life. If you want to come back, fine, you can. If you don't want to, nobody can drag you down. And 5 or 6 or 7 or more generations of your relatives will be elevated to liberation also. So the initiation is immensely powerful. It's incredible.
It was believed that consolamentum or Cathar initiation could happen only twice in a lifetime, upon confirmation in the faith and upon impending death, if the person made a commitment to the faith. Master has also explained that apart from getting initiation to enter the circle of sainthood, the sincere could also be liberated if they remember the Master at the time of death.
Many of the beings that I helped, not you, they already gone to heaven. They came daily to thank me. Came in my vision daily. Countless, I cannot count. All came to say thank you, to thank me. Yeah. I'm very happy also because of that. They're not initiated. No. You know, maybe some of your relatives passed away already. Maybe some people outside who saw my photo and believed, yeah, and prayed, remembered me when they died, and then they're gone to heaven. I sympathize with everyone, even the worst criminals in this world. People judge them, I don't. I just feel sorry for them, very, very sorry. And it pains me that not everyone listens to me so that I can help them. If they just believe in me, then I can also liberate them at the end of their life. Then they don't have to come back again. If they just not slander me, then I can also liberate them, help them at the end of their life. And in this lifetime already, anyway, in different circumstances, although they don't see, they don't know. Some do know, yeah, some do know, even they're not your Kuan Yin practitioners, brothers and sisters, they do. Some see, okay? Yeah, and some don't.
The Cathar initiate was called a perfect because as spiritual aspirants, they strove to remain clean and perfect after receiving the rebirth of initiation. The Cathar perfects followed a very simple lifestyle, refraining from consuming animal flesh or animal products. However, some may have erroneously consumed fish, perhaps because they did not have a true living master to guide them in detail. Also, they might have been influenced by the false belief in those times that fish were different from other animals. The Cathar perfects observed abstinence from sexual contact and from intoxicants such as wine, alcohol, or drugs. In their daily lives, they worked as weavers or farmers, always helping the less fortunate and not caring for privilege or opulence. Spiritually, the Cathar perfects practice focused on one-on-one direct communication with God. Instead of worshipping in a church building, they practice meditation in meadows or by streams. For us, all these reveal that the consolamentum of the Cathars could be the same precious key of initiation with the 5 moral precepts that we have been fortunate to receive in our times as disciples of Supreme Master Ching Hai. Sadly, despite the high regard people had towards them, the Cathars were perceived as a threat to the established Roman Catholic Church at that time. A crusade was launched in 1209 to exterminate the Cathars. In the year 1321, the last Cathar perfect initiate named Guillaume Belibast was asked to go back to the south of France to give consolamentum to a dying woman. He was betrayed and on his arrival was captured and burnt at the stake. According to legend, in the last moments of his life, Guillaume Belibast shouted the following prophecy.
700 years from now, the laurel will turn green again, and the good men and women will return.
In referring to the good men and women, Guillaume Belibast was predicting the return of his own people, the Cathars, precisely 700 years from the time he spoke. Wise viewers, 700 years from 1321 is the year we are in now, 2021. As our series continues, we'll go deeper into the Cathars' fascinating predictions about their own return. In our previous episode, we began to learn about the Cathars, a fascinating spiritual group that lived from the 11th to the 13th centuries AD in southern France and other parts of Europe. Regarding themselves as Christians, the Cathars were charitable pacifists. Many Cathars were known as believers. Meanwhile, those more ready to renounce the world were the initiates, known as perfects. These individuals were imparted a secret way to contact the divine love within. The perfects followed vegan principles, refusing to take the flesh or byproducts of animals that were born through normal reproduction, because this meant that they housed reincarnated souls. Unfortunately, some say that they mistakenly thought that fish reproduced spontaneously. We realized that the Cathar believers are like our convenient method practitioners, while the perfects resemble our fully initiated association members. The similarities are striking. Even the majority of Cathars were women, just like in our group today. The Cathars also believed that there was a benevolent God and also a lower evil god, Satan. Souls could connect with the true God for salvation and thus free themselves from the cycle of reincarnation. Meanwhile, the negative god whom we know as Satan, or the king of Maya, tries to stop souls from reuniting with the divine by filling the world with temptations. Only through initiation and living a pure and moral life can one become eternally free from the imprisonment of the evil god and return home to heaven. These Cathar doctrines are very similar to what Supreme Master Ching Hai teaches today.
There are always two forces in this world, negative and positive. The negative tell people to do all the bad things that are harmful to societies and to themselves. The positive people try to stop that and tell people to do good, whatever good for the nation, for the world, and for themselves. And these are always at odds with each other. No? This is the temptation that we always heard about. In this world, the negative always tries to give temptation to people, to make people bad. And the positive power tries to save them, tries to tell them to do the right thing, go into the better, correct direction. So, the master, the prophet, always represents this positive power. And many negative representatives on this planet, of course, will not want the master to be alive or to be well, because if the master takes all the souls to heaven, then what do they do here? They cannot control people anymore. They cannot tell people to kill each other anymore. They cannot tell people to drug themselves to death or harm their bodies by drugs and by all kinds of bad habits anymore. All souls are free. So they're afraid. They want to keep the souls here enslaved forever. This world is a big trap and very difficult to escape unless you really sincere and you seek a master to help you, there's a secret way to go back home, to go back to heaven, and only the master can open it. That is the thing. Because the karma is so strong, it's like an iron door, double, triple iron door. Only the master has the key. The master has enough power to do it. Not everyone can.
Catharism spread rapidly and resonated among countless people in medieval France and Europe. The troubadours, as traveling musicians, may have played a role in the wide following of Catharism. But the Cathars earned their respect by their humility and virtues, including from sympathizers in high places, such as the powerful French queen Eleanor of Aquitaine. Even a Catholic clergyman who opposed the Cathars admitted,
If you interrogate them, no one could be more Christian. As to their conversation, nothing can be less reprehensible. And what they speak, they prove by deeds. As for the morals of the heretics, they cheat no one, they oppress no one, they strike no one.
When the Roman Catholic Church at the time launched a crusade against the Cathars, starting in 1209 AD, Catholic military orders were urged to join in their persecution, but one soldier answered,
We cannot. We have been reared in their midst. We have relatives among them, and we see them living lives of perfection.
Tragically, the innocent Cathars were imprisoned, besieged, and massacred over the next several decades. But not one of them renounced their faith. Such was their inner fortitude and firm knowledge that their kingdom lay in heaven, not on earth. It is said that in the face of their obliteration, the Cathars uttered the words, "The laurel wilts." For the Cathars, the laurel was a sacred symbol of the divine love, the essence of their faith. But the Cathars had inner knowledge that their Church of Love would revive someday. As we saw last week, the last Cathar Perfect, Guillaume Belibast, proclaimed the following just before his martyrdom in 1321.
700 years from now, the laurel will turn green again, and the good men and women, meaning the Cathars, will return.
Thus, the Cathars knew that either they, or perhaps more likely, spiritual people just like themselves, would flourish 700 years later, which is today. In 1244 AD, one of the last surviving Cathar communities took refuge at the fortress of Montségur, when they were besieged by 10,000 troops for 10 months before their surrender. Weakened by the cold and hunger, about 225 of them bravely met their end together at the stake. Centuries later, in 1978, this site at Montségur was visited by the late respected British dowser and spiritual author named Colin Bloy. He is also the founder of Fountain International, a gathering of individuals who are encouraged to use a simple meditation technique to bring peace and healing to their local communities. Mr. Bloy was dowsing, detecting spiritual energies using rods in the meadow where the 225 Cathars had perished in 1244, when some information was mysteriously revealed to him, predicting the future rebuilding of an Andorran church in 1986. Later, Mr. Bloy realized that there was a greater meaning to this. In March 1985, Colin Bloy was suddenly inspired from within to write down a prophecy regarding the Cathars. Flowing through his hand within just 10 minutes, the words not his own came from the year 1244 AD, when that group of Cathars were martyred.
In accordance with an old prophecy, the Church of Love is proclaimed in 1986. It has no fabric, only understanding. It has no membership, save those who know they belong.
Mr. Bloy intuitively knew that the Church of Love did not signify the return of the Cathar Church per se, but a broader community of people with the same ideals, such as the peace-promoting organization that he himself had founded. We too wonder whether the Church of Love that was to be proclaimed in 1986 might also encompass our association. The Supreme Master Qinghai International Association was just beginning at around 1986, forming naturally around Master's teaching of love. Created neither to gain nor to keep members, our association solely exists based on the understanding that everyone in it sincerely wishes to realize God under Master's guidance. Hence, it has no fabric, only understanding. It has no membership, save those who know they belong.
How does one become a member of your international organization?
You just let me serve you. If you would like to know God, that's how you can join us, just to pray for the world. You're not a member of anybody. You are only a member of God's kingdom. So I just want to show you how to meditate, how to know God, that's all. You're not a member of any kind. We normally don't have anything like a membership or anything. But we give you a little card. So whenever you come to see me in my private residencies, if you want to, you have priority to come in, ask questions, no, meditate, whatever. That's it. There's no membership fee, no obligation. If you want to come, you come. You don't want to come, you don't come. Nobody will call you, bother you, or force you, or remind you of any kind. If you want to come, our house is open. If you don't come, sayonara.
The prophecy continued.
It has no rivals because it is non-competitive. It has no ambition. It seeks only to serve.
As Master intended, our association has no ambition. It seeks only to provide support for its members through group meditation and fellowship, and also to help the less fortunate unconditionally. These humanitarian activities spring from Master's own example and her reminder that it is our duty to put our love into action. The very small group of Master's disciples formed the so-called association because it's requested by law in order to gather in groups for meditation. All other members have no membership requirement.
我们这边没有，我们真的没组织，你要的话就可以进入我们的问问了。我们有多少就贡献多少，下一次如果再需要快来，我有多少拿出来，你有多少呢？大家都一起送，因为我们自己是自动的嘛，这个是上帝的工作。我们那个上帝自己，上帝awaken 醒过来了以后，他自己会知道怎么救自己的亲戚朋友，何必组织什么？我们就在这边就有中华民国是最后才成出来，因为政府是指导我们说我们是要有一个机构这样子。We don't take any money, so whatever I earn. After I do everything else for everybody else in our family, then we give it away, Before we did it mostly by private name, so nobody even know we're doing anything. I never care. It's just recently they told me that sometimes we just give by private name is difficult, to explain to the government over there, the one that we want to help. Or give to some other organization, etc., etc.
etc.
I'm Isabel, the Cathar Perfect. In our previous episode, we began to explore a prophecy about the return of the Cathars, a peaceful spiritual group that once flourished in medieval Europe, including in Occitania. It was the late British dowser and spiritual author named Colin Bloy who was inspired to write down a proclamation he received inside about the Church of Love that would appear in our times. He later remarked,
"It's a bit of a special church, and I don't want you to get confused over the word church, because it means communion, ecclesia in Greek, nothing more."
Indeed, while the prophecy was about the Cathar Church being restored in 1986, Colin Bloy believed that the Church of Love meant a greater communion, or gathering. It could, for instance, include the global peace-promoting meditation community he founded, called Fountain International. We too wonder if our Supreme Master Ching Hai International Association, a wellspring from Supreme Master Ching Hai's loving example, could also be part of the reappearance of this Church of Love. For example, the prophecy describes the church as follows.
It knows no boundaries, for nationalisms are unloving. It is not of itself, because it seeks to enrich all groups and religions.
Our multiracial association knows no racial divisions or national or religious borders. Master welcomes all and encourages and enriches each group further.
There is no need to change your religion. Just meditate. I show you how to meditate, that's all. Just keep whatever you believe. Keep your Christianity, keep your Buddhism, keep whatever, the path, the teaching of the Master that is favorite to you. I just show you how to get in touch with the essence of the teaching that you believe.
If a person is devoted to their religion, say Christianity or Buddhism, would it be necessary to receive initiation and practice the quantum method? Can they find their hidden true self through their own religion?
Oh, if you can, then you don't need. But if you haven't, then you do. Doesn't matter if you're Buddhist or Christian or what. Finding the true self will make you become a better Christian, a better Buddhist. That is all. Because you know the true Buddha nature and you know the true Christianity within you. Otherwise, the Christians tell us that be you perfect as your Father in heaven who is perfect. But are you yet a perfect Christian? Never mind about perfect as Father in heaven. So the Buddha say, you will become the Buddha. You have to know your Buddha nature. Do you know the Buddha nature yet? Have you know anything about Buddhahood yet? If not, then come to me.
etc.
There is no walk of life or nationality that is a barrier. Those who are, know.
In the Church of Love, everyone is welcome. Master gives initiation to anyone who comes to seek the truth and eternal liberation from her. No one is rejected due to their nationality or their walk of life.
I remember I went out into the public and I promised that anybody who comes can have initiation because I had faith in the Buddha nature in you. I look to you not as a person, not as a sinner, but as the potential Buddha, as the God's child. You see what I mean? I always had that. I never asked any of you how much money you make. Therefore, I treat all of you the same.
青海师父持戒，鄙人就是他了。从前是一个黑社会分子，杀人、赌博、斗殴、打架，做过许多坏事。今年50岁，一生当中还没有做过一件善事。他知道自己罪业深重，能够应信吗？对师父的名声就是 reputation 啊，是不是有损害
No problem， 没有问题。
可以不可以担他的那么深重的业障呢？
可以，愿意。
The prophecy also says, those who are, know. This could mean that for those who receive the initiation, thus becoming part of the Church of Love, the soul knows that it is forever free and safe by the Master's grace.
以前對於人生嘅疑惑，我要確定咗我點解要嚟呢個世界上面，同埋我要落去究竟為咗乜嘢，我先能夠有興趣繼續生存落去。但因之後，我嘅疑惑一掃而空，我好清楚自己點解會喺呢個世界上面，人生嘅意義係乜嘢，我先知道呢個世界係幾咁大，幾咁美麗嘅。因為師父，呢個世界變得有意義，佢拎開擋住我眼睛前面嘅無明，還我本來嘅面目。
With the guidance of Master, even in this very life, we can achieve paradise or nirvana or God's kingdom. All this experience I myself have experienced. And the more I meditate, the more I follow Masters, the more I feel, and the more I'm happy.
Así que el método Kuan Yin me ha dado lo que yo buscaba en la vida, fluir a través del método hacia Dios, a ser uno con Dios, a conocer mi verdadera naturaleza. De ahí surge el conocimiento, de ahí surge la verdadera sabiduría, no de la lectura de libros, e incluso en muchas veces, sin haber preguntado a mi maestro físico algo, lo conozco, porque mi maestro interno me lo ha revelado.
Before initiation, I worked many long hours, and I worried about everything, and I really wasn't very happy or peaceful in my heart. And after initiation, due to the ability of concentrating better, I did things much more quickly and more efficiently. The other thing is that I felt a lot more love, a lot more peace and harmony in relationships and in whatever I did. I find that I can feel her presence very strongly and her guiding me through any difficult situation. Even in a seemingly scary or frightful situation, she's there protecting you.
Etc.
It admits no hierarchy or structure, for no one is greater than another.
In our association, there is no control hierarchy or structure. All under Master's guidance are equal, regardless of their background, race, gender, etc., calling one another fellow brothers and sisters. We act autonomously but cooperate harmoniously and coherently as a whole. For example, as Master has instructed, contact persons are to deliver messages and serve their respective centers, not to lead or control anyone.
Just do your job. The contact person, simple. Okay? Contact means just a contact point.
Yeah.
Not a leader. Most of the people, they forget. They tend to use the post just to lead people, and make all kind of nonsensical things. It's no good. Huh? Okay, please be humble and be sincere.
Its members shall know each other by their deeds and being, and by their eyes, and by no other outward sign save the fraternal embrace.
On the outside, our association members do not appear any different from other people, whether by their jobs, wealth, power, positions, or nationality. Yet, in general, we can say that we are all the same because we all follow the path Master has shown us to develop our inner love and wisdom. Our members are vegan and keep the 5 moral precepts, meditate, and do charity work according to Master's teachings.
The teaching of the Master that you wholeheartedly believe, follow, and bring it into practice by purifying yourself, keeping pure precepts, and refrain from violence, refrain from all the misconduct that is not appropriate. Try your best, and then also help other people. Help me to help others. But never think that we help anyone. I told you many times.
The 5 precepts required for the disciples of Supreme Master Ching Hai. 1. Refrain from harming or taking the life of sentient beings. 2. Refrain from speaking what is not true. 3. Refrain from taking what is not yours. 4. Refrain from sexual misconduct. 5. Refrain from using intoxicants.
Those who participate practice the truth of love in all their beings.
In essence, Supreme Master Ching Hai teaches our association members to rediscover the divine love we have within ourselves and to put it into practice.
The most important in this world, regardless whatever our mission is, love one another, love each other. And if we do not do that, then we lack a lot of things. And whatever job we do, we have to do it wholeheartedly. Moreover, we still have to help our fellow beings in whatever way we can, make them happy, make them feel loved. We have to show our love, and we have to show some action, speech, and thought, always in loving kindness. That's the best for our spiritual growth and best for our fellow beings.
etc. etc.
Estimated contributions to date from Supreme Master Ching Hai for animal protection: $6,949,889 Vegan food development and vegan lifestyle promotion: $16,734,866 Refugees: $4,104,575 The underprivileged, the homeless, orphans, etc. $7,852,328 Disaster victims: $22,274,740 Pandemic victims: $4 million Environmental protection: $1,503,780 The arts and culture: $668,106 Religious and spiritual groups: $1,772,805 Various other benevolent causes: $7,892,542 Total estimated contributions to date: $73,753,629 These estimates do not include many other donations that Master gave quietly or spontaneously without documentation, or for which we lost track of records, nor do they include new donations made since the time of this calculation. Supreme Master Ching Hai is deeply grateful to the beloved God for all the financial help, comfort, and support to the afflicted and needy, and or any good cause over the years as a humble vessel for Here's compassion and love towards Here's precious children.
In order to truly practice love for all beings, our association members refrain from harming or taking the life of any living being. We adopt and promote the vegan lifestyle, which is peaceful, compassionate, healthy, noble, economical, and eco-friendly.
First of all, we have to practice love in order to beget love. In order to be all-pervasive, loving like our Father, we have to love all beings. And that is the meaning behind the vegan diet. It's not to be healthy or not because Jesus says so or Buddha forbids. It's just we have to be love reincarnate. We have to be the walking God on this planet. We have to live like God would live.
The vegan diet is only to propagate more loving kindness, which already exists in us, to polish it more, to bring it to a fuller extent to all beings, including our younger brothers and sisters.
If we consider ourselves higher beings, then we should carry out higher noble acts, right? Protect the weak and the innocent, and not abuse our power by harming our friends, especially if they do us no harm. We should listen to the great wise religious leaders of the past and present and regard our animal friends as sacred, cherished creations of God. And as a very basic gesture of dignity, respect, and kindness, we should be vegan.
Etc. Around 8 centuries ago, a kind and peaceful spiritual group known as the Cathars, many of whom lived in southern France, was persecuted mercilessly by the religious authority at that time. But even as they faced their utter and unjust demise, they left behind a hopeful prophecy foretelling the return of their kind in 1986. Today, we'll continue to explore the Cathar's proclamation about the future Church of Love. As intuitively received and transcribed in 1985 by the British spiritual author and teacher Colin Bloy, we will also make connections between the prophecy and the Supreme Master Ching Hai International Association, which we believe is part of the Church of Love. Coincidentally, the association came into being around the predicted year of 1986 and fits the descriptions, such as the following.
It, the Church of Love, acknowledges all great teachers of all the ages who have shown the truth of love. It salutes all those in the past who have blazoned the path but have paid the price.
Teaching us that all the great masters of the past taught the same truth of love. Supreme Master Ching Hai has expressed her heartfelt appreciation many times for these enlightened saints who sacrificed immensely to elevate the world's consciousness throughout its dark ages.
We love God, so we dedicate our work as a humble offering to God. Not only offering to God, but to all the divine beings, to the saints and the sages, whose blessing, love, and sacrifice over the ages have made our world a better world as we have today. It's not perfect, but it's still a better world than we had before. Yeah. Please do not forget to thank God Almighty, to thank all the masters of the past and the present who have sacrificed so much, who have loved us so much since the beginning of time, and have blessed us immensely, continuously, so that we always can walk peacefully and courageously in whichever way we have chosen for ourselves. Blessed be all these noble beings, here and in other worlds. We will always be grateful in our heart. Please remember, the more we are grateful, the more we will be blessed. The more we remember their loving kindness, the more we will be endowed also with loving kindness. The more we are thankful of the peace they have bestowed upon this planet and upon our path, the more peace we will realize, the more blessing, the more bliss. Everything better will come in our way, even in this physical planet, even in this difficult situation of the globe. We will always walk in peace and protection, and we will know that, we will feel that, we definitely realize that every minute of our day. And that's what I do.
At the New Land Ashram in Taiwan, Formosa, Master originated the concept for a gallery that presents the portraits of some of these masters. Sometimes Master reads and expounds upon the past Master's teachings and also instructs that they be shown on Supreme Master Television. She has certainly inspired us to also venerate the past Masters who have blazoned the path for us today.
It, the Church of Love, seeks not to teach but to be, and by being, enrich. It recognizes that the way we are may be the way of those around us because we are that way.
As Master has taught us, by being good spiritual practitioners ourselves, we can automatically contribute to brightening or enriching the world's atmosphere.
That's why in our practice, we are advised to keep our body, speech, and action pure. So we can keep first our personal atmosphere pure, and we can create also a pure atmosphere for the world in which we live and for the planet, for the universe. So the more people practice like this, the purer the world will become, or at least it's balanced. It's not too bad that nobody can breathe and nobody can stay inside. And that's how we can fulfill our mission on earth to bless this world.
In accordance with Master's teaching, our association seeks not to preach, but to simply practice, developing our own saintly quality through daily meditation. Anyone who would also like to do the same are welcome to join, and are shown how at the time of initiation.
It, the Church of Love, does not proclaim itself with a loud voice, but in the subtle realms of loving.
Vegan, because we are kind at heart.
Vegan, because the animals also love peace, as we do.
Vegan leader, trustworthy, guaranteed.
Killing is never right. Peace is the only answer.
Master's messages of much-needed assistance at this time are expressed through loving words, and most vitally through the subtle blessing vibrations of Supreme Master Television.
Bonjour, charmants téléspectateurs.
Compassionate viewers, I'm Zul.
با درود به شما بینندگان مهربان. مردم مهمان نواز ایران ما از شما قدردانند که راهنمای یک شیوه زندگی درست و مشفقانه هستید و دعا می‌کنند که مردم جهان نیز چنین زندگی‌هایی داشته باشند.
Salamatizbe means hello in Kyrgyz. My name is Azizbek. The happy people of Kyrgyzstan applaud your loving actions and kindness to bring hope to the less fortunate.
You must be a vegan. I am, right? Love you much for that.
Pristine Anguilla thanks you for cherishing precious life by being vegan. May you be rewarded with endless happiness.
May heaven's mercy shield you and yours always.
Etc.
It has no reward to offer either here or in the hereafter, save that of the infallible joy of being and loving.
Master also teaches her disciples to do good deeds quietly and humbly, without proclaiming their contributions or asking for anything in return. Rather, she has shown them the joy to be experienced in the subtle realms of loving.
We just did the Arizona wildfire relief where you sent money to the 19 firefighters that passed.
Yes.
I visited the city.
Are they all right?
Right now they're healing. But now the relief is slowed down. Obviously the money is helping a lot.
Because the loss of a family member is terrible, and it's a big loss for the community as well. So I just think of their sacrifice, They accept our condolence.
Oh yeah, they're so thankful. Yeah, very, very thankful. Because I walked through the places with the fire.
Yeah.
And you imagine it, but when you're there, it's very different. So I thank Master for that opportunity because it's life-changing.
You
just
open your heart, yeah. When disaster comes, they really need something, especially the love and comfort that you bring. Okay? Love and comfort that you bring.
Yeah, we felt like that.
Yeah. Good. Okay, so it's good for you also. You see, when you go in such an area by yourself, you can see how people are so appreciative, and then you can feel closer to fellow beings. Your heart will be more open, and your compassion will grow. You bring positive power. You bring love into the area that they need it most at that time. Always spread more love, then the world will become a better and better place.
Each shall seek to advance the cause of understanding, doing good by stealth and teaching only by example.
Last time in New York, somebody just told me, many other organizations stay outside waiting. They just let our disciples go in the ground zero to serve food and water and drink every day. But no channel knows about it. Mostly we do too quietly, too efficiently, and then we get out before the media gets in. Yeah. So sometimes, like in Taiwan, a big earthquake and disaster and all that, and our group was the first one to come in because we are equipped with, walkie-talkie and amphibious boats and everything, which our disciples invented themselves and go directly to the flood area and take people out where the helicopter cannot even. The same in New York.
Yeah, Master.
Yes.
I was there. It was very hard in the beginning after the explosion.
I know.
And I said, so the hard feeling, it feels like God died because it was dead, really.
Yeah, everybody feel that way, that's why.
Yeah, and we didn't know what to do. Then we went to the center and they organized the rescue work. We got a lot of stories about how people there really loved us and the food that we brought. They said, oh, they haven't had like a hot meal for 3 days.
So no meal, just come but no meal.
Yeah, and because they have like candy bars or cookies and all kind of junk stuff. Yeah, it couldn't like sustain the
energy.
The energy.
And they worked like mad there. They need it. Some people were so tired, the fire workers and all that. They're tired. They lay down. But when they hear somebody say, "Oh, the Supreme Master Ching Hai's meal is here," and everybody jump up and come and get it.
And they said, like, your coffee is the best. Very strong.
They needed it. They needed it. They work hard. They needed to be awake.
Yeah,
yes.
The
firemen and the police, they're also heroes. They're good.
So they were very happy about this.
Yes, I'm very proud of you.
Oh,
very, very proud.
Thank you.
God. The firemen are brave, and you are also very brave. Yeah, I keep calling, and it seems like it's not fast enough for me. But thanks to your effort, you really try your best.
Actually, we were there like for a few days or for a week, and later, like they started opening like a big buildings around, and the whole big buildings, they have like cafeterias or restaurants, so they sort of took over.
Yes.
So we were the first to go and
went immediately. That's good. Afterward, everybody can do anything, but before that, nobody even thinks of what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, only our group can know what to do quick. We always do respond to emergency, of course, because otherwise everybody else can help later. When they come in, then we get out. Always the same. That's why nobody knows about us, but they know about everybody else. Because that day nobody even dared to go in there. So early. Nobody knows for certain because the building can still collapse or explode. See, it was really needed.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that I sent you there for nothing. I am glad you have done what you did.
Oh, thank you.
Loving viewers, I'm Joseph, the troubadour, or traveling poet-musician. Over the last several episodes, we have introduced a prophecy written by the late British spiritual author Colin Bloy regarding the appearance of a church of love in our modern times that would hold similar values as the Cathars did in the Middle Ages. The Church of Love refers to an international community of people who are spiritually minded and loving at heart. Today, we'll explore the remainder of this proclamation of the Church of Love, as it appears to also relate to our Supreme Master Ching Hai International Association and Master's teachings that guide it.
It, the Church of Love, has no secret, no arcanum or mystery, no initiation, save that of true understanding of the power of love, and that, if we want it to be so, the world will change, but only if we change ourselves first.
The Cathar Prophecy resonates very much with what Master has always emphasized over the decades, that only through the power of God's love can the whole world change, and that this change begins with ourselves. As Supreme Master Ching Hai has taught us,
it's not just good to sit or listen to the tape. Master says, oh, we have to be unconditional, and then go out and tell everybody, oh, you have to be unconditional. You got to be selfless. You must be it first. Yeah, you cannot expect your neighbors to do it. Example is more than preaching. Better than preaching. So we have to do what we can, the best we can.
Master not only shows us how to meditate to develop our love, but she also urges us to put it into action in order to realize our ideal of world peace. Similarly, the Cathar Prophecy says,
It, the Church of Love, recognizes the supremacy of the great idea which may only be accomplished if the human race practices the supremacy of love.
The world is in trouble. People are dying of hunger every day. Children, old, young, able-bodied, no work to do, cannot find work because of global warming or the global economy. And the animals are tortured every day. And you sit there 4 or 5 hours a day thinking nonsense. I'm not sure that you can sit 4 or 5 hours a day and concentrate and all that and get up to the high level. No. When you're selfish, you can sit for thousands of years. You go nowhere. Do you understand me? Yeah. All these years I teach you, even in different lectures, different tones, different ways of formulation, it's all about selfless love. And this is the time you should exercise these selfless lessons that you have learned. And if you haven't exercised it now, no chance. You exercise again. See? This is the greatest chance you have. Of course, it's a very sad thing that our climate is getting warmer and our globe is going into trouble. It's a very sad thing. But on the other hand, it's your great opportunity to prove that you're worth it. We've been eating food from the world all these lifetimes until we grow up as 20, 30, 40 years old. And how much did we repay society? So don't make excuses for me, okay? You are my disciples. You make me proud. You decide how you translate this selfless love into action, yes? Everybody says, oh, I love Master. Oh, I love other people. I love the animals. Then do something about it, huh? Talking is cheap. Wake them up. Do something for them. Do it together or do it alone. Do something to help the world. Because God blessed you, so you use it to bless others.
Each one will dedicate their life to the silent loving of their neighbor and environment and the planet, whilst carrying out their task, however exalted or humble.
vị có lý tưởng, quản lý ăn tiền thì ít nhất cũng bố thí cho người khác, thấy không? Là bố thí pháp, tức là mình in truyền đơn này kia ha, ăn chay sống xanh cứu địa cầu, thí dụ đó mình có cái lý tưởng, cái đời sống mình nó có mục đích, có một mục tiêu rất là cao thượng, cho nên mình sống thay tốt hoặc cái khối cũng không sao, để có mục đích mà mình làm về mục đích đó, thấy chưa?
They shall know no fear and feel no shame, and their witness shall prevail over all odds.
In trying to do our small part to promote a peaceful vegan world, our association members feel no fear nor can be shamed to give up, as they believe that the Master Power is always helping them to overcome obstacles. This is all owing to Master's own example of courage that teaches them to never hesitate to do what is right, especially for the defenseless.
I'm just so filled up inside with anguish for the children, for the children, because I can imagine how they feel.
Yes.
It's not acceptable because like this, any pervert just jump into the church, become the priest, so that they can enjoy all this privilege and abuse without any consequence, above the law. Maybe they're all in bed together. Whoever supports this or doesn't do anything about it or turns the blind eye to it, they're all in it together. I'm not afraid to say that. Even if I'm afraid, I still say that. Maybe I'm afraid of them, but I'm not afraid to say that.
Yes.
Of course, everyone will be afraid they are powerful, okay? But that doesn't mean if you're afraid, you don't do.
Yes.
A hero, it doesn't mean he's not afraid to do it, but he does it because he should.
We cannot call ourselves human children of God the way we are living. Mostly like this now. Killing others, killing each other even. In war. What for? For a piece of land, for a little, policy difference, for different opinions. This is ridiculous. The way we behave, are we better than children? No. I apologize for my truthfulness. No, I don't apologize. Maybe nobody ever said that, so somebody has to. Somebody has to say things that are true, straight from heart to heart. We are sleeping too long already. It's time to wake up and be a human, be a hero. Rescue our world by making individual choice of benevolence, of peace, of loving kindness on the table, in the supermarket. Teach our children the best way to live their lives.
And if you're a leader and you don't lead people in the right direction, then you should abdicate, actually. Pardon my straightforward words. Being a leader is not just to enjoy sitting there with all the privilege and all the luxury afforded to you, and you forget that people, children, animals are agonizing every day for your piece of meat and whatever you did not do to help to change the climate for the better and to save lives for people and for the animals. So that will be in your conscience. You will not get away with it because heaven records everything. You know that. All the scriptures say the same thing. It's not I who have to even say that. And I don't apologize for what I'm telling you because you know it also.
they shall heal their neighbor, their community, and our planet.
Through Master's grace and guidance, the world around us is changing as we begin to witness love prevail over violence, peace made over war, the vegan lifestyle overtake meat eating, and good triumph over evil. Etc. We know that the real doer of these healing changes on earth is Supreme Master Ching Hai, with the high heavens who are under her command. At the same time, Master has said that those who aid her mission form a wide circle of humans, animals, and other beings who are also helping her to help the world.
Some lay people, they came from a higher level. They came down, they still help the world. We have many helpers in the world. You see outside there?
Yes.
Like PETA organization, human rights organizations, many organizations and groups in the world and individuals, they're fighting. You see?
Yes.
They're fighting with the dark force in this world. I love you all. I praise you. I respect all of you. The ones who help me to help the planet, to help all beings in this world. I will never forget your sacrifice, your favor, your love, your genuine contribution to this mission to help alleviate the suffering of this world. I will never forget.
Interestingly, the prediction of a very inclusive Church of Love has also been mentioned in different terms by other prophets, such as the British-American spiritual author Alice Bailey and the venerated Master Ben Saduno from Bulgaria.
What is this Church of Christ? It is the aggregation of all who love their fellow men, because to love one's fellow men is the divine faculty which makes us full members of Christ's community.
Аз наричам основателите на тази нова цивилизация братя и сестри на човечеството, или деца на любовта. При новата раса любовта ще се прояви по такъв съвършен начин, за който днешните хора имат само бегла представа.
Wow, the Cathar Prophecy also ends with the same simple vision of a wonderful new human race.
All those who belong, belong. They belong to the Church of Love.
We thank Colleen Bloy for recording and sharing the Cathar Prophecy from 1244-80 that gives us hope for the future. We also pause to remember the noble and brave Cathars who upheld the practice of love centuries before our time, even at the cost of their lives, while inspiring us till today. Above all, our heartfelt gratitude, Supreme Master Ching Hai, for your most radiant presence and profound love that has infused our universe, our hearts, and our minds, making all the difference. In heaven's grace, we pray the prophecy comes true soon with the healing of our planet and all humans belonging to the Church of Love. Thank you, compassionate viewers, for joining us today. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. May the divine love permeate your soul. Vegan because we are not murder accomplices.
All information concerning the scientific evidence of climate change and its solution is in Supreme Master Ching Hai's book, From Crisis to Peace, free for download at crisistopeace.org.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/AP